Life isn't easy. Regardless of who you are or where you come from, there isn't a single person on this earth who hasn't endured pain. Sometimes, the weight of the world can feel so unbearable that giving up seems like the only option. There are countless stories, both in fiction and real life, where one bad day can completely break a person and alter the course of their life. Yet, what makes the human race truly special isn't just our capacity for suffering, it's our indomitable spirit. No matter how deep the wounds or how heavy the burden, we possess a remarkable ability to persevere. When I encounter this type of character in anime and manga, I can't help but be in awe and feel inspired. Though their struggles are far worse than what most of us will ever face, these characters continue to push forward no matter the odds. Today, I want to explore how to write a character who embodies the indomitable spirit, as well as some common pitfalls to avoid. I'll be doing so by analyzing Subaru from rezero, Guts from Berserk, and Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen. Major spoiler warning from here on out. A lot of characters die in these series, so if you haven't seen the most recent anime seasons of rezero and JJK, as well as the first few arcs of Berserk, I suggest you don't continue. Now that you've been warned, let's jump right into the video. Before an author can show how strong and resilient a character is, they first must put them through the ringer. If you were to search up anime characters with the worst lives, these 3 characters are usually among the top answers. They've all had their mettle tested and have gone through some severe pain, both mentally and physically. Guts' life has been a relentless series of tragedies. Literally, from the moment he was born, he was doomed to a life of hardship. From losing both his real and adoptive mother, to having to survive as a child mercenary, to then having his adoptive father sell him to another man for a few coins, Guts' list of misfortunes just keeps growing. But nothing can compare to the eclipse. It's where he witnessed the brutal massacre of his comrades and endured literal hell. Not only was he betrayed by his closest friend, but he was also forced to watch the woman he loves suffer a fate worse than death. He must now live his days branded with a mark that not only endangers him, but also anyone that attempts to get close to him. Then for Yuji Itadori, his suffering began with his introduction to the world of curses. From the moment he swallowed Sukuna's finger,
What?
his life has been a constant series of battles against the most evil, cursed spirits. Through these battles, he's had to come to terms with the deaths of many friends and allies. But worst of all, the pure-hearted Yuji must also live with the burden of knowing that his mere existence brings danger to those around him. As a result of swallowing Sukuna's finger and becoming his vessel, Yuji had awakened the severe parts of Sukuna's soul across Japan, leading to the deaths of many. Despite wanting to save others, Yuji must live with this immense guilt weighing him down. And finally, Natsuki Subaru's life took a dramatic turn when he was suddenly transported to the kingdom of Lagunica. And while being isekai'd into a fantasy world may be a dream for some, this was the beginning of Subaru's literal nightmare. He quickly finds out that he's been cursed with an ability that he dubs Return by Death, a power that allows him to go back to a certain point in time but at the cost of him dying. And while this may sound useful, Subaru has been forced to relive the most horrific moments of his life over and over again, in addition to dying a gruesome death each time. Whether it's watching his friends' horrific deaths or being tortured himself, Subaru is forced to undergo unimaginable pain, all while reliving his failures. His mental fortitude is tested every time he is about to reach his goals, only to be forced to start over. The sheer weight of these traumas would have crushed most people, and yet, despite their immense pain, all 3 characters refuse to give in to despair. They use their rage, sense of duty, and desire to protect to keep pushing forward. Which leads me into my next section, the core of their indomitable spirits. So after establishing that these characters' lives are complete utter crap, an author must give a reason as to why the characters keep pushing forward. What internal factors motivates them to keep pushing through hell? What is the core of their indomitable spirit? For Guts, the drive to survive has been with him since the moment he was born. Literally dubbed the struggler, Guts never once stopped to question why his life sucked or why he was cursed with his fate because he was too busy slashing whatever was in his way. His relentless will to survive was what kept him alive during his days as a mercenary, drifting from one battlefield to another. And then, after the tragic events of the eclipse, he's given another reason to keep on living: vengeance. Fueled by his pure, unadulterated rage, Guts refuses to die until the day he slays Griffith, and gets revenge for his fallen comrades. He's willing to go through sleepless nights, push through immense pain, and battle the most twisted apostles, all for a chance of retribution. Just look at his visceral reaction to Griffith during their reunion at the Hill of Swords. This is the face of someone who's been consumed by rage. Unlike others who might seek peace or redemption, Guts is driven by a need to settle the score, which gives him the strength to endure the impossible. In contrast, Yuji is motivated by a sense of duty. We see throughout the series time and time again where Yuji is ironically cursed with a duty to protect. Whether it's his grandfather telling him to save others, or Nanami telling him to take it from here, Yuji is constantly burdened with responsibility. But even though he's been close to breaking many times, it's the sense of responsibility that helps him get back up. He knows that his existence is a danger, that him being alive has resulted in the deaths of many, but that's all the more reason for him to keep going through hell to save others. He knows that if he were to give up, that it would be disrespectful to his fallen comrades, so he decides to continue his battle against curses. And finally, Subaru's resilience is fueled by something deeply personal. Subaru's indomitable spirit is rooted in his desire to save those that he cares about. Rem, Amelia, and the others at the Roswell Manor. Coming from a world where Subaru had all but given up, he sees this fantasy world as a chance to start anew, and it was these people that inspired him to become a better version of himself. Motivated by love, he's willing to go through countless deaths over and over again in order to achieve an ending where everyone is happy. Even if his organs get slashed or he's eaten alive by rabbits, Subaru will put himself through all this pain in order to save those who have saved him. These internal factors are what make each of these characters unique in their indomitable spirit, and are the reasons why they resonate so well with the audience. While their motivations differ, they all share an unwavering resolve to push forward no matter how dark the path. Now, while the core of an indomitable spirit lies within the character, having external support is crucial as well. Even the strongest of characters need a reminder of why they should keep on going, and it's often the presence of others that prevents them from giving up. Guts' journey is a prime example of how external support can change a character's focus. I know I said earlier that Guts is fueled primarily by his rage, and while this may be true initially, over time we begin to see a shift in motivation. As he acquires new allies and takes on the responsibility of taking care of Casca, Guts begins to contemplate what truly is important to him. While his revenge has been a driving force that keeps him alive in his darkest moments, he begins to question whether that is truly his sole reason for existing. The relationships he builds with his new comrades begin to fill the void left by his rage, and for the first time in a long while, Guts starts to consider the possibility of a life beyond just vengeance. His interactions with his newfound companions remind him of the importance of letting go of the past and working towards a better future. Similarly, Yuji's resilience is reinforced by the support of those around him, especially during his lowest moments. In Shibuya, Yuji finally reaches his breaking point after witnessing the deaths of so many of his friends and innocent people. But in his moment of despair, it's his friend and best brother, Aoi Todo, who steps in and reminds him of his duty as a Jujutsu sorcerer. Todo's words served as a lifeline for Yuji, pulling him out of his despair and reigniting his determination. It reminded Yuji that he must continue fighting for the sake of those who have passed, and made him regret ever thinking about taking the easy way out. And finally for Subaru, the love and support he receives from Amelia and Rem are what keeps him grounded. And Rem in particular, who by the way is the best girl, has had a profound impact on Subaru. After dying for the umpteenth time, Subaru was ready to run away from all of his troubles and live a peaceful life with Rem. But instead of giving into her own desires, Rem reprimanded him and reminded him to be the man she fell in love with. Her unwavering faith in him, even when he had lost faith in himself, gives Subaru the strength to continue fighting. Every time he's about to give up, he reminds himself that he has to be the hero that Rem sees him as. While the indomitable spirit must be something that comes from inside your protagonist, it's important to have a supporting cast that 1. Keeps pushing them to go forward, and 2. Encourages them to evolve. And in this last section, I'll be talking about 2 common pitfalls that one should avoid when creating this type of character. The first is making the character suffer just for the sake of suffering. While it's crucial to challenge your character, constant tragedy can feel redundant and lose its impact. There's a fine line between challenging your character and overwhelming them with constant sadness. The key here is purpose. Every struggle your character goes through should have a reason behind it. This reason could be to either further develop their character or drive the narrative forward. For example, look at Guts' early years. Being sold by his adoptive father and enduring years of abuse doesn't just give him a sad sob story. It lays the foundation for his future mistrust of others and his struggle with vulnerability. These early traumas explain why Guts is so guarded and fiercely independent, and it's also why it feels so meaningful when he later connects with the Band of Hawks. In Berserk, Guts' life is filled with hardship, but each tragedy he faces serves to deepen his character or set up key plot points. The second pitfall when writing this type of character is having them bounce back from misery as if nothing ever happened. While the whole point of this character is to be resilient, that doesn't mean they should be impervious to trauma. We loathe this type of character when we can put ourselves in their shoes, but if the character is always invincible, they can start to feel less relatable. For instance, Subaru is a great example of a character who is resilient but not invincible. He breaks down, questions himself, and there are times when he's on the verge of giving up entirely. I actually think one of my favorite moments from the show is when he breaks down crying in front of Echidna. For the first time since being transported into this world, Subaru was able to share with someone that he can return by death. For once, he was able to unload this burden that he's been carrying with him all by himself, and it resulted in him being vulnerable in front of the witch. Subaru doesn't simply shrug off his trauma, he internalizes it and it leaves a scar that influences his future actions. The Indomitable Spirit is one of the most inspiring qualities that a character can possess. When written well, they can encourage us to push forward and shape our own destinies, even in our darkest moments. Through Guts' unyielding determination, Yuji's unwavering sense of duty, and Subaru's relentless drive to protect, we see that true strength isn't about physical power, it's about having the will to stand back up no matter what. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of anime and manga. Until next time, peace.